Hi everyone, welcome back to SwitchUp, and today's episode where we're going to do that thing that we like to do. We shouldn't do it, but we're going to take a look at the best sale games this week on the Nintendo eShop. And in case you missed our last couple of, I think it was like Black Friday episodes, most of those games are still on sale. Congrats to the winner of the free game this week. Your name's on the screen right now. Make sure you leave your comments down below if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning. And also you can save 5% on all your eShop credit. I know basically most of you at this point are doing that. You just use switchup.gg to buy it and you get 5% in cash back. Alright, what are the best games on sale? Well, my name is Mark Walker. Welcome back to SwitchUp. Now let's find out. Let's kick off with Bear and Breakfast. This is 45% off in the US. That's the cheapest it's ever been. And it is a lovely little, what would you even describe it as? A B&B simulator, but you're playing as a bear. You gradually renovate in new B&Bs in new locations. You get different customers in. It took a bit of a while to get used to the controls because they are a little bit, I'm not sure why they haven't changed them, but you will get used to them and the actual gameplay is delightful. I do have a review of this one on the channel if you'd like to go and check it out. But yeah, as I say, 45% off is the cheapest that one's ever been available, and that sale goes on until December the 4th. Now this episode is actually sponsored by a new game called W.A.N.D Project, or W.A.N.D Project, that only retails for £8.99 on your regional equivalent, and you can see price details at the bottom of your screen. It's developed by the Knights of Unity. It's the same people that actually made the Tools Up game, if you remember that. You play as a magic-wielding Japanese sorceress who can fire off tons of different magic spells as she fights against alien monstrosities in a futuristic Tokyo. Now that is a game premise, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. Now the interesting thing is that you can combine different magical elements. I think there are 100 different ones in total to create different combos, which gives near infinite loadout customization. Now the mechanic which facilitates that is a spellcrafting system, and it means that no two runs feel the same. You will be unlocking loads of different characters. They each have their own unique stats and abilities, as well as getting new gear, and it does have the option of either auto fire, which I guess think along the lines of Vampire Survivors, a very addictive option. Check out our full video, but a thanks to the publisher for sponsoring this episode. Now, we do actually have a stealth way of getting the cheapest ever copy of Tears of the Kindom. If you're in the US regions, you can buy your digital code, so it's an eShop download, and that is currently 57% off, taking it down to $30. That's way cheaper than Nintendo have ever offered it on the eShop, and by far the cheapest I've ever seen Tears of the Kindom. So if you haven't got it and you don't mind having a digital download, then that's the way to go if you're in the US. Remember, if you're not in the US, it's not difficult to either change regions and download something or just set up a US account. It takes like 5 minutes. There's not much I need to say about Tears of the Kindom. Amazing game, very enjoyable. I just don't know how long that sale goes on for. Now, Wave Tail was an enjoyable game actually, where you're kind of skating across the surface of the waves, but that's down to its cheapest price. It's just it's about £2. $2.99, 90% off. There is some combat in here as well. It's not a very long game. I think it took about 4 or 5 hours to finish, but it has a great atmosphere, this one. I did enjoy it a lot. The thing is at £2, you really can't go wrong. That, like, I think all of these today is the cheapest that's ever been by a country mile. That sale goes on until December the 29th. Now, I do want to mention Pumpkin Jack. It might be slightly out of season, but I follow the developer of this one on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And he posted, I think it was like last week or something, he had this massive spike in sales. And then everyone in the comments was like, yeah, I put it in my sales video, And I think that's good, you know. It's nice that these indies can actually see a meaningful impact from videos like this. And obviously if you've made a decent game, which this is, happy days, more power to him. Now this one reminds me a lot of the old game Medieval. It was a great platformer from back in the day, and I'm sure the developer themselves, if you're down there in the comments, you'd agree that there's definitely some inspiration from that. But it's another one that won't take you too long to finish, maybe like 4 or 5 hours again. About right really for like an adventure platform game of this nature. And that sale, as I say, cheapest it's ever been, 80% off, goes on until December the 31st. Another on its lowest is Citizen Sleeper. That's down 70% here in the UK, and you play as an escaped worker who's washed up on what's called a lawless station on the edges of interstellar society, and it's very much like a tabletop RPG style experience. Now, Sleeper, the titular Sleeper, is a digitized human consciousness in an artificial body. I feel like that most days. And you're owned by a corporation who wants you back. There's a load of different characters as well for you to meet, and a whole skill system for you to work your way through and figure out what is going to work best for you. Good game this, very good price as well, well worth checking out.
Workers. But we can fight this.
Now, Trinity Fusion does have a few technical issues. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a couple of stutters and bits and bobs here, but it's an excellent game, and it is down to its cheapest price. It's 50% off, really fast paced actually, and it's a roguelite. So if you like roguelites, you'll be used to things like meta progression, levels that generate and have some randomness to them as well, so that the experience isn't the same every time. 3 characters to unlock as well as universes to explore. It's just, yeah, enjoyable game that came out like so many in a period where no one's looking at it, you know. If you release near a Zelda or Mario, like, good luck to you is all I'll say. It does have great meta progression, just needs a bit of tweaking behind the, you know, under the hood, I'd say. So hopefully Angry Mob Games can do that, but very reasonable. It's £8.99, 50% off. That's until December the 27th. I absolutely love the look of Beacon Pines. Now, I know it's not all about judging a book by its cover, but man, that looks amazing, doesn't it? And it's down 60% at the moment. It features a group, well, it's Luca and his mates basically, who have noticed something unusual's taken place, and then they kind of investigate. It does have a bit of a feeling of like a road movie, you know, like the Stand By Me DNA in there, and it plays out almost like in a storybook. You find these golden charms, and they're linked to words that you can then use to affect pivotal moments in the story. It's a nice idea, quite a different take, isn't it, from something like The Plucky Squire, but still with a similar premise with the storybook mechanics. That is £7.19, 50% off until December 29th.
But it's okay, we can figure this out together.
Now, I vaguely remember one of you saying, let me know when Dredge hits a 40% or greater sale. Dredge has hit its 40% or greater sale. It's 40% off now, £13.19. That's quite a drop over its last sale, and it's down to that, almost that impulse territory buy, isn't it? This is great. You're the captain of a fishing trawler. It has that RPG feel to it, and you're managing your inventory. You can change the way the ship operates, but there's also a mystery element to it, and you're heading out into this Lovecraftian ocean. And when nightfall comes, it's, man, things get very kind of eerie. You have to research special equipment and upgrade your boat's capabilities, and also, of course, fish to actually sell your discoveries and make some bunts. And there are loads of horrible creatures that act almost like boss fights. But then they keep adding in DLC. I don't know if you've noticed. There's been, I think, a total of 3 DLCs. All of those are on sale as well. So if you're interested in those, now's a good time to check them out. Glen did a cracking review of this game. So if, well, I say watch it, but you probably don't want to. If you don't want a new game, don't watch his review, because it's very compelling. It made me buy it. But this is published by Team 17 and developed by Black Salt Games. Roots of Pacha is a great game. That's 40% off. Now, I did the review of this one, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's down to 13 quid, and you're basically part of a Stone Age community. So rather than research things, you have like discoveries that then gives you access to new methods for harvesting or building. And there is that constant feeling. It's what I liked about it. There's that constant feeling of quite quick progression. There's nothing worse for me in one of these games where it's like, right, now go to bed because you're tired, and you have to like literally wait a day. It's probably why I didn't get on well or too well with things like Animal Crossing. Even that, I was just bad at it. But this also features multiplayer, and I think this type of game, playing this online with your mates, there's just something better about it. I don't know, it works so well. But single player, more than good enough for just that alone. Just a 1 gig download as well, but loads of content. Like, I think it took me about 25 to 30 hours to finish, but realistically you could be playing for 100 hours if you weren't rushing to finish a review. Now, the sale for that goes on until December the 10th. The hidden gem of the week then is Europa. Now, I know many of you will have seen this and gone, oh no, it's not a hidden gem, I remember that. And yeah, it has a free demo as well, so if you want to try it out, you can do so. I call it a hidden gem really because I don't think people realise that it's actually a very good game. You know, we weren't able to review it in time. There wasn't much coverage. I know Switch Corner, Alex did a video, so I was kind of glad to see someone did, but his video was on the demo. There's not a huge amount out there, and I liked it. I wouldn't pay full price for it. Now, I got to clarify that. The reason being is it's one of those almost like a walking simulator. You're like a child who arrives on this planet. He's following in the footsteps of his father, and there's like snippets of information. You also find out about the culture, and it's got a really nice movement system where you can like fly and glide around. But it's so short. Like the whole game takes around 3.5 hours to finish. And I know we don't just base value on the length of a game, but it's certainly a factor. But what, £10 for something you can repeatedly enjoy, longer than almost every film? That's not too bad, I don't think. And someone's clearly put a lot of time and effort into secret things and hidden lore. So yeah, I think you will enjoy this if you know what you're getting, you know what you're putting your money into. If you go in and thinking, oh yes, this is Tears of the Kindom, you're going to be disappointed. The sale for this goes on until December 13th.
Better path.
Alright, we've got a few physical games now. Just because it's Black Friday, I think it's good to have a couple. Here in the UK, we've got Bayonetta 3, 70% off at Amazon UK. That is quite the price. Now in the US, it's not a physical. You did have the physical Tears of the Kindom at Walmart as well, but it's sold out. You might be able to still find it available in some stores, but I think online that's sold out sadly. Back in the UK, we've got Unicorn Overlord at 55% off, again at Amazon UK. Well worth picking up, cracking game. And then jumping back over the pond, the US regions, you've got Metal Gear Master Collection at 69% off at Amazon. That's really good. Like, what? It's like less than $20, I think. Don't let anyone tell you these are terrible, versions. They're really not. I had a problem that one of them didn't run at 60 when it actually could run at 60. They just limited it. But as far as the actual games go, I mean, they're completely bonkers. I actually finished 3 for the first time on Switch, and it's mad. It's a mad game. Things happen, and if you didn't know Hideo Kojima, you'd be like, oh, this person's got some serious issues. But because it's him, you're like, oh, okay, we'll let him off. I mean, don't you think that's a little bit like Tarantino? Some Tarantino films are amazing, and others, I think he gets away with things that other people wouldn't. They'd be like, what are you doing? So yeah, little interesting one. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. But this collection for that price is definitely worth it. Although, again, you've got to realise that in this silly day and age, half the stuff doesn't come on the cartridge. So there is some downloading to be done there. Right, that takes us on to our mince pie selection. My mince pies are very cheap this week. They're under £2. So, easy pickups. Railbound is 92% off. Such an addictive pick up and play loading game. One of those games you just boot up every time you start your Switch, and it helps you chill and decide what it is you're going to invest the next 6 hours in. Although, to be fair, you might do this. Then we've got Atomic Crops, that's 80% off, down to $2.99. A really fun little not slice of life, because most people aren't dealing with nuclear crops and the like, but this is cool. It has a very addictive loop as well. And then SteamWorld Dig 2. The SteamWorld games are amazing. These Metroidvanias are classics. They're 90% off at the moment. Down to £1.49. An absolute golden, diamond encrusted barjan. So that is it for the week. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I've enjoyed making it. I've actually recorded this one just chilling, laying on my bed. I hope that's not inappropriate. I'm comfortable. You probably hear I'm just, proper chill. Although there is this alarm that's been going off in the distance. When you can just hear it. It's just perceptible, but it's annoying. I can hear it going off, and it's starting to do my head in. I feel like I need to go on a vigilante mission to find it. I'll let you know what happened next week. Alright, thank you to our Patreons, our members, all of you that enjoy the content. And as always, for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys. See ya!